Hello there, I'm Ken, and you're watching Kilt Can Cook, the Scottish cooking channel that encourages young men and women to have the confidence and competence they need to conquer the kitchen. After last week's episode on Talkers, I received a lot of emails. Two in particular asked, Ken, why do you not cook Scottish food? Answer, Scottish food is terrible. The second question I received is, Ken, I work 8 to 10 hour days. I'm very tired at the end of my shift and I don't want to come home and cook food. Can you help me? I absolutely can help you with a crock pot and 2.5 pounds of beef.
Alright, so as stated, you're going to need a crock pot. Now we're going to add in some mushrooms, an onion, large onion please, about 4 large potatoes, a sack of carrots. We're going to add in 4 tins of beef broth, a dried Lipton onion soup mix, and we're going to use a crock pot lining for cleanup, and 2.5 pounds of beef. Alright, so we're going to take our liner here and we're going to stick it into our pot. This way we don't have to worry about messy cleanup later. And you just put it in like you would put a bag into a rubbish bin, like normal. And then just unwrap your meat. It's nice and simple. Just dump your meat unceremoniously into the pan. That's not pan, into the pot, I suppose. Now we're going to open our tins with an opener. If you can find it here. Ah, there it is. And we're going to make 2 little openings. Now we're not going to open the tin all the way because that lid can become razor sharp and that hurts. You don't want to cut yourself with that. It could hurt yourself, it could hurt children. Very easy to slip up with that. Let's just dump all your liquid out. Alright, so now we're going to start with our dry ingredients. Open up a Lipton onion soup mix, just dump it on in. Gives a nice flavour. Take your mushrooms, get whatever's on sale. These are about half off because they're about to go bad. And get out your cutting board and your favourite knife. And then just slice it up to about 1/2 centimetre thick. See, about like that. Personally, I don't like to wash my mushrooms because I enjoy that nice dirt flavour. But you run the risk of getting some nasty diseases that way. You might get something from the pesticides or whatnot or so forth. I don't know. I don't like buying organic because that stuff's too expensive. Always go with cheap. Always go with cheap. Organic is not cheap, and it's not proven to be healthier for you. There, my controversial statement for the day. Organic is not healthier for you. Write your hate mail in the comments below. Now we are going to peel an onion. Onions, of course, have a waxy layer on the outside. You got to peel it off before you can actually do anything useful with this silly thing. And sometimes you just can't get it off with your fingers. Try though you might like. So, we're going to have to resort to extreme measures. Specifically, take your knife and scrape it off. Be careful though, you do not want to cut your hand off. If you're an idiot, you will cut your hand off. That's just too bad. You see that rooty thing at the bottom there? That's the thing that makes you cry when you cut your onions. So don't cut that out. We're just going to cut around that. Alright? Just little slices around that. Later I'll be doing a more in-depth video on how to cut an onion. How to cut an onion for, presentation or for sauteing, things like that. But for right now, we're just doing medium-sized slices for a soup, essentially. And then do the same thing to the other side of the onion. Get all the waxy bits off. And cut slices out. Oh, this is going to be good. I like onions. I like them a lot. And then just throw the waste away. Cut your larger slices in half. And don't worry, by the time this thing cooks down, the onions are going to be much smaller. You might not even see them. They'll be so small. After 7 hours of good cook, oh yeah. Now we're going to add the rest of our tins of roast beef broth. Just remember, 2 little cuts. 2 little cuts. 1 cut lets in air, the other lets out liquid. And then just dump it all in. We'll take care of it later. We'll throw it away later. Don't worry about that. But once again, you don't want to have that sharp tin lid. Cutting yourself, cutting your kids, cutting any pets. And put away your stuff. Put it in the dishwasher or in the sink. Throw away your rubbish. Try and carry your rubbish. Drop a tin on your foot. Hop around like an idiot. Meant to do that. Alright, so now we're going to set our heat to about low. You don't want to set it to high. And we're going to set it to about 7 hours on the timer. Now set your lid on top, and you've got about 7 hours to do whatever you like. Go to work, work out. That's what I'm going to do. First you need a little energy drink. And I need some workout music. Let's see if I can remember the tune. Alright, let's check the progress of our food now. It's been about 5 hours at this point. Oh, look at that. It's coming along. It's not done yet. It's nowhere near done yet. But at this point I'm going to add a wee bit of salt. Because, well, you can add too much salt. You got to be really clumsy though to be able to do that. At this point, about 5 to 6 hours then, we're going to add our potatoes and carrots. You want them to cook, but you don't want them to overcook. We're going to slice our potatoes up with a paring knife. Partly because my large knife is in the sink. Didn't want to clean it. But cut your slices about centimetre and a half. And then cut those slices in half. Once again, you should wash your potatoes, unless you like the taste of dirt. If you like the taste of dirt, more power to you. I do. But I should warn you that you might incur the wrath of various bugs and viruses and whatnot. Then take your carrots and just dump them on in. Just throw as many as you like in. Make sure you submerge your vegetables completely under the liquid so they cook better. Set your lid, and then you've got about another hour and a half to 2 hours left to wait before they're ready. Let's see. Oh, time passes and oh, it's ready! Alright, so we're going to pull our meat out. Oh, that's looking good. Yeah, oh, look at how it just falls apart like that. I like to pull my meat apart with a fork instead of slicing it. This allows me the opportunity to take away some of that nasty fat that you see collecting there at the bottom and separate it from the rest of my food. Now with pulled meat, you can use it for instance, well, you can make nachos if you like, add a little bit of salsa to it. You can just do what I'm doing right here. Just take a large chunk of it and add some potatoes and some carrots and some onion and some mushrooms. Now the onions and mushrooms are going to be buried deep underneath because remember, you put a lot of stuff on top of them, so you're going to have to really dig to get at them. But that's no problem if you really like those mushrooms and onions. You won't mind. Add a wee bit of salt for taste and you're good to go.
Well, that's our show. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a lot about how you can make your own pot roast dinner. Now, as you can see, it does take a while for it to get cooked, but as long as there's enough liquid in the pot, it'll never dry out. Might want to fact check me on that. Do a quick Google search. I'm Ken from Celt Can Cook, encouraging young men and women to have the confidence and competence they need to conquer the kitchen. Always have to have the pinky finger out. At least that's what a British overlords tell us. God save the Queen, eh?